Hey guys, it's Spooked and welcome back to my Steven Universe Reviewed series. This episode was on Alone at Sea and it was a really intense episode with Jasper back in it. The whole episode was really intense and I loved every part of the episode. It was shocking to find out some of the things in the episode and I was a little confused going into it. And I really hope we get to see more of Jasper because she is like Team Rocket following them around. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the episode. So this episode starts off with Steven revealing to Lapis that they have bought a boat and they want to take Lapis on a trip to the ocean. Lapis isn't really sure about this due to her experience with Malachite and how she felt forced being fused with Jasper over time. Steven reassures her it's not going to be like that and they're going to have fun on the ship. And Lapis is finally introduced to Greg. Lapis agrees to go on the ship and they get on and start sailing around. Lapis is pretty panicky while on the ship, but she starts to enjoy stuff such as honking the horn on the ship. After that, Greg introduces Lapis to fishing and she uses her method of raising the ocean. But Greg tells her to do it old-fashioned way and she manages to get a bite, but while reeling it in, she gets a Vietnam flashback and creepy music starts playing, so this was probably Jasper in the ocean. Steven goes to see why Lapis is sitting down and pretty anxious on the ship, and while they are doing that, big thumps start to happen. The engine breaks down, and suddenly, out of nowhere, Jasper climbs onto the ship. Lapis had previously told Steven how she missed Jasper, and now Jasper was standing there, begging Lapis to fuse back into Malachite. Jasper pleads that she's changed and she wants to be permanently fused again, so they have more power combined. Steven tries to defend Lapis, but Jasper keeps calling her a monster and calling Lapis worse than her, and pushes Steven out of the way. Jasper tells Lapis to fuse with her and become Malachite again, but Lapis refuses and Jasper keeps on pushing. Jasper gets triggered by Steven and blames it on all being his fault, and then says she's going to shatter him. Lapis fucking falcon punches Jasper out of the ship into the sky like Team Rocket, and the boat starts to sink, with Greg being sad. I bet you Greg will lose all his money by the end of the season. But anyhow, let's get on to things I liked and disliked about this episode. Well, the first thing I liked was Jasper's return, and how her character seems to have changed a lot since being in the Malachite fusion. Somehow Jasper located them after being knocked unconscious into the core back in Super Watermelon Island, and it seems that she will be a more recurring character throughout this season. Now honestly, I don't want her to be a crystal gem due to the fact we're already getting so many other gems currently coming up, like Bismuth and maybe Centipede will join. Plus Peridot only recently joined and it seems Lapis has also joined the crystal gems. I want Jasper to be more of the antagonist, but she isn't strong enough to fight off the gems. She would be a great replacement Peridot, seeing as Peridot is now on the crystal gems and we don't have that antagonist on the show who's silly and such. I'm not saying Jasper is silly, as she has some force and is pretty powerful by herself, unlike Peridot. Another thing I really enjoyed, of course, was Lapis. Lapis is an amazing character and I loved her in this episode. Her laugh was probably one of the best things in this episode, and it was interesting to see how Lapis misses Jasper. That was something that nobody expected to happen. Again, like Monster Reunion, I do not have anything negative to say about this episode. I love this episode and how we got to see Jasper once again, rather than her being gone for another season or so. I love how they're reintroducing the old characters and giving them more screen time now, rather than just ditching them from the show for more important characters. But overall, I have to give this episode a 9 out of 10. Everything was great in this episode, just we didn't get to see much of Jasper, other than the initial shock of seeing Jasper. The plot wasn't really developed, and we didn't learn much in this episode. But anyway, join me next time for my review of Greg the Babysitter.